Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
I am afraid, though, that if we do mention the titular bones or no bones, it might not be relevant by Monday.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's a goner, right, already. Not the dog. No, just like the idea. Just like the
No,
meme.
God,
Just
no.
the meme. I just feel like that.
Not the, yeah, just the meme.
Yeah, just the meme.
I will say, on this Wednesday when we are speaking, when I opened my TikTok app today and I went into the search bar, it was automatically pre-filled for me. TikTok did this. It said, "Is it a bones day?" And I think, personally, if they are not compensating that dog for that, that's criminal.
If this dog doesn't live the most lavish life by the end of this.
For the rest of its life.
Like, it's a disservice.
I agree. I think that, listen, I understand now that a lot of folks are, like, having a basic understanding of health.
Sure.
Via a dog.
Yeah.
Which, great.
Sure.
Welcome to the space. I'm glad that you are having this education, even though it's, you know, disability activists have been trying to tell you this for literally decades, but that's fine.
It's cool.
You know,
Whatever.
sometimes it takes a dog. But the fact that I saw Disney post about this today of like, here's some of our favorite Bones characters. I was like, can you shut the fuck up?
Hey, get away
for a
from him. Leave him alone.
Stop. This dog is an oracle.
Yeah.
This dog is continuing a treasured, an incredibly important prophecy that oracles have done for thousands of years.
Right.
And you, Disney,
Yeah. You, the mouse.
you, the mouse, taking this thing that used to be women getting very drugged and connecting to their spirit guides to prophesize the truth.
Yeah.
Connecting to it and being like, but here's some of our favorite characters with bones in them. Watch Halloween Town. Fuck you.
No, how dare
Disney,
you?
this dog is a prophet.
Right.
Stop. Don't trivialize
He's
that.
a tiny wizard, and he knows everything.
He's trying to speak the truth, and I don't like that you are trying to sell your products. Fuck off.
Yeah. Now I get why Puxatawny Phil does like a once a year situation. Like that
Exactly.
seems like the ideal form of being like a
God.
prophetic animal, to say the least. Of just being like, yeah, just fuck, you have one day in the spotlight, fuck yeah, and then you can just be an animal.
God, the amount that TikTok would just have a heyday over Puxatawny Phil.
Oh my god.
If that was his job every day. Do you know how tired that fucking creepy creature would be every day?
Yeah, exhausted. Oh my god.
It's like, oh, I saw my shadow. I don't remember what that means, but like, whoop, there's your
Right.
weather for today.
Like
Like,
teens sending him death threats for making it a no shadow day.
you're canceled. My PSCT is today. You can't see yourself. Stop.
Breaking news: Puxatawny Phil is canceled. You heard it here first.
That's valid. Just leave it. Just stay in the hole. Like, it's fine. We don't
Stay
need...
in the-
Just stay. You know? Let
Wow.
us be your prophets.
Ooh, yes. Welcome into the Twilight. We will predict whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Let us do it.
Sure.
Anyways, hello. Welcome
Yo.
to the space.
We're here.
We are here. Sort of. You know? We're in your ears. How are you?
I'm doing pretty great. I've been bewitched by a show recently. I have never seen it, but it was a, semi-popular teen show.
Okay.
In the early to mid 2000s. It is the hit ABC Family show Greek.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yes. So you are aware. You are familiar.
Oh,
You
yes, I am.
A thing that I've noticed since we've started watching it is that a lot of people talk to about it don't remember it / have never watched it, or just like faded into the background compared to like a Gossip Girl or an OC or any of those kind of things around that particular area. But if you are unfamiliar, like I was previously, less than a week ago, Greek is a hit television program about the Greek life and following like sorority and fraternity cultures and stuff. And I am genuinely so surprised at how well it holds up.
Damn. Seriously?
It's like very shocking because it's like truly at its core just like a commentary on like a very specific kind of masculinity and also like femininity, but like in terms of frat stuff
Right.
and frat culture, it is like very multifaceted in that, which is very cool. And in a way that I'm just like, oh, you had like a gay black kid character in 2007, like being stealth basically until he's not, and then like that being a very like well flushed out, complicated storyline. And it's like,
Holy
okay, ABC Family, okay.
Okay, so that, first of all, is freaking me out. Because
Yeah,
I
freaking your bean.
It's freaking my bean because I absolutely would not have expected that show to hold up.
Right?
Given the fact that that came out in a very similar time as The Secret Life of an American Teenager, and that
Right.
show absolutely does not hold up.
No.
My experience with Greek, and I'm going to take you all back when I say
Yes,
this.
let's go on a journey.
Hold on to your butts right now. My first experience with Greek was not watching it on ABC Family. My first experience with Greek was back when I had an iPod. Not an iPod Touch,
Yes.
an iPod, like iPod with the
Yeah.
screen.
Right.
Now, if you remember iTunes at that time, you were able to access a free single every day.
Oh, yes.
Now,
what a great
there was
time.
also a time when there was a promotion going on where you could also access a free TV episode.
Oh,
I don't know, remember.
the way I milked the fuck out of that.
To me, in my head, I remember it being every day, but it might have been every week. I feel like it was every day, though.
I think it's every week, yeah.
Something like that. My experience with Greek was downloading the pilot of Greek onto my iPod, so onto iTunes, and watching it there and being like, damn, the show fucks. Okay.
Yeah.
And
All right.
promptly forgetting about it until you mentioned it right now.
Well, welcome. I'm here. I'm happy to like unleash that memory.
The
for you.
amount of, and I haven't used my actual, like, I haven't looked at my iTunes library in forever because it's been lost on so many different accounts. But
Yeah.
there was a time in my life near the end of middle school going into high school where I had so much miscellaneous bullshit because I was like, yes, I will take all of these free singles and all of these free episodes. Thank you very much. I will take
Yes.
all of them. But I'm glad to hear that it holds up. That's exciting because I'm always looking at, like,
Genuinely
New shit.
would be worth revisiting if you have an inkling too, because it is
Always.
It's very good and very funny.
hell yeah. I love that.
I love it. Yeah, having a great time with it. Hell yeah. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm living. This is not a happy thing, but I will say that I am still reeling after watching Dune this past weekend.
Sure. Yeah. How was the worm? How big was it? And was
It's
it
fucking
everything you
big.
hoped for? Okay. Great.
I will say that I was duped going into
Sure.
that. I fully thought, I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to see Zendaya. I'm going to see my husband, Oscar Isaac. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And it's not that. So don't get your hopes up.
Damn.
It's all, unfortunately, sick boy Timothy Chalamet.
Little chambermaid Timmy boy.
He's just so sickly the whole time, and he's so angry. Here's the unfortunate thing, and I did not know this. Dune, weirdly enough, has quite a bit in common with the Vampire Academy series.
Okay.
And I was shocked to find that out while
Sure.
watching this, of like, some of this stuff happens in Vampire Academy.
Right.
That's weird. Was Rochelle Mead, like, did she read this growing up and be
Just,
like,
like super into Dune. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, I have the perfect idea for my vampire fiction novel series.
it was just very weird. There's like a thing in Dune that's very similar to like the compulsion. And it
Okay.
like actually fucked me up where I was like, hey, wait a second. Lissa does
hold
that.
on.
Yeah. And now there's just this sickly little boy that's doing this. So weird.
Wow. Yeah.
So if anyone could explain the red string between those, I would love to know why and how. But my happy thing for this week is I braved and conquered a fear that I've had for about a year,
Ooh.
which is
love
that
this
I
growth.
opened Animal Crossing.
Oh, you're so brave.
I was afraid to,
Yeah.
but I will say it's kind of a half growth because I did nuke my island and start over.
You knew Isle Esme?
I couldn't
What?
fucking face it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
I'm so wanting to just say your full name on this podcast like a stern parent. Allie, what?
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened.
I knew when I was going to go back into it that I wanted to have like a fresh start. And I was like, damn, if I do that on my existing island, it's going to take fucking forever. Yeah. And so I nuked this past weekend and I started over. And it's starting over when you actually know what you're doing is so much faster.
Yeah.
And so that's helpful. But also low-key like playing it again, which is nice.
That's amazing. Getting that love back.
Yeah. You know? And so now when the update actually comes out, I'll already be in the groove and I don't have to fucking like rip the Band-Aid off then, which is nice. Right. So, yeah. Because I saw that update and I was like, damn, I do want to play again. But also I have to face the fear of like opening it, which I don't really want to do.
I do have to look these villagers in the eye.
And I decided, what if I just don't? And I fucking just start over.
What if I just died and they all died too?
Right. And so that's what I decided to do.
Yeah. I'm very proud of you and happy for your new little island life.
Thank you. We do have a couple of seasonally appropriate vampire content going on.
Ooh. Yeah.
Would you like to start us off?
We have breaking vampire news from, I was going to introduce him as friend of the pod. He is not. We do not know him. But
that's not true. Him. I think that just because we don't know him personally does not mean that he is not a friend of the pod.
This is true. And there's probably degrees of separation, I'm sure, somehow, somewhere, you know? It's the main man, Brian David Gilbert.
BDG, his whole fucking energy gives off friend of the pod. Like,
he does, yeah.
You couldn't tell me that Brian could not come on this show and immediately fit in.
Absolutely. Yeah, you just take it over, BDG, if you want it. Just take it. But our main man has released a cover album of ABBA songs.
I didn't know.
In the style of monsters, Halloween monsters. And it's the best thing I've ever seen.
I didn't even know to think about asking for something like this from him.
Right. It's not even something my mind could have conjured up as a fantasy.
No.
You know?
No, I didn't think like, oh, damn, an EP from Brian of ABBA songs in the form of like fucking Halloween villains would be great. No, I didn't have the imagination, the creativity for that.
My own mind couldn't even think that far.
No.
Like, you know?
Which is why I'm not him.
It's he. Yeah, exactly. But it's amazing. And one of them is Lay All Your Love on Me, aka Lay All Your Blood on Me, in the style of Dracula. And it's iconic.
It's great. The plastic fangs really do it.
So good. Yeah, there's so many like moon overlays. It's very good. I love it.
It's even
big
though
cape energy.
Some of you might be saying, okay, so it's Brian, great. It's vampires, great. But ABBA, first of all, I'm going to need to stop you there. Because ABBA is and will always be relevant to this show.
This is true.
That's just the truth.
That's just a core foundation of this program. And if you're not with it, get out.
If there was a way that I could convince you all that Mamma Mia was part of the Amanda Seyfried like universe and bring it into the show, I would absolutely make us cover it on the show. But instead, I will just need to watch it repeatedly on my own time.
Yeah.
So, this is amazing.
Yeah, thank you, BDG, for your service.
I didn't know to ask for it, but I'm immensely grateful nonetheless.
Yeah.
Similarly, but again, another list that I didn't know to ask for, but I am immensely grateful for, is this Vulture piece that you shared on our Twitter account.
Hell yeah.
Of vampires ranked by hotness by Carrie Whitmer.
Thank you, Carrie. This is part of, it seems as if Vulture is doing an entire vampire-themed week.
Vampire Week, which you say?
Vampire Week. Sorry, it's Vampire Week. Which I love. I stan. What are your thoughts about this list, though? Because I have some qualms with it.
I would love to hear your qualms.
First of all, most glaring to me specifically is how low our man Lee Pace is.
I hate it.
In this list. It's fucked up. The fact that he's not even top 10, and that would be generous.
Right.
22 is fucked up. It's objectively wrong.
It's wrong. First of all, don't put Lee Pace in a corner.
Nobody puts Lee Pace in a corner. He's so big.
He's so big he
fit.
Can't fit. So don't try. Now, this is coming from someone who has not seen The Vampire Diaries, so don't come for me.
Don't at us.
But also, why are The Vampire Diaries folks so high on this list?
It is like back-to-back Vampire Diaries and True Blood just coming up from the top, which I get to some extent, right? Because those shows fundamentally are about hot young people who are vampires.
Sure.
So I get it. Like, I understand that's part of the appeal. But I mean, the lack of, like, the very minimal Buffy representation here.
Oh my God.
Is concerning. Like, and there's just every other one is some sort of Vampire Diaries motherfucker.
Right.
It's like, there are some sort of older picks, which I appreciate, like Bowie and the Hunger, great vampire pick, very fun. That movie's just about being horny and being a vampire and bisexual. It's great.
Right, of course.
But, like, outside of those little examples, it's just like, bam, here's every hot person from The Vampire Diaries. It's like, okay, wow.
There's a lot. First of all, I have not seen The Vampire Diaries, but I know who Nina Dobrev is. I know that they are hot. But also, number one?
Yeah.
Number one
is
a choice. It's a choice. I'll say that. Yeah. What makes me happy on this list? I'll say that first. Laszlo, great choice.
Very good.
I'm glad that Laszlo
made the cut.
Made the cut in the top 10.
And it's number 10. Love that.
Which is great.
And they're not wrong. They're not wrong.
100% no.
Also, your boy got a shout out in here.
I did. I was gonna get to that. I wanted to start with some human people first.
Sure, not felt. Felt.
Stop. When you say it like that, it's weird.
It's correct. Is what it is.
Here's what I'll say. Unexpected for this list, but I appreciate it. Is having Colin Farrell from Fright Night.
Yeah, that is fun.
Because I feel like Fright Night is often left off of these lists for good reason. Totally. It's not a good movie.
Sure.
But Colin Farrell as a vampire, I love it.
Yes. Everything I ever could have wanted.
Yeah. And also, Colin Farrell, aside from his most recent couple of movie choices, is hot. So.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm interested in, and Carrie, you are more than willing to come on and defend your choices. I would like to talk about why Colin Farrell and my boy Count Von Count are right next to each other. And they're pretty low.
Yeah, they're at the bottom of the list a little bit.
Because what that tells me is that they are on this list.
Right.
But and they are higher than Brad Pitt as a vampire.
It's so disrespectful.
But I disagree with them being higher than Marceline as a vampire.
Yeah, Marceline being that low too feels homophobic.
I 100% agree.
You know, but I do like the idea that because Count Von Count and Colin Farrell are so similarly linked that they're just the assumption there is that they're in each other's league. You know, they're in the same level of like attractiveness, and it's like one is a man, one is a human man, and one is a puppet. So
yeah, in the vampire hotness scale, they're both like a 6, which is ridiculous.
It's like what is the gauge on this? How was this? I want to see the methodology to this list.
Yeah,
you know?
That like Kiefer Sutherland as a vampire 7, Colin Farrell as a vampire 6. What?
Yeah. Excuse?
Hello? What does that mean?
Yeah.
This is a very interesting selection. Some of the numbers here I think are incorrect factually.
Yeah. Right.
Especially given how heavy it is on Vampire Diaries and True Blood, I think it makes sense, right? Because those are very recent. But
yeah, for sure.
And we haven't covered those on the show, but if y'all want us to, I mean, we can be bought. But to only have the only person from What We Do in the Shadows is Laszlo.
Yeah, everyone that show's hot, objectively.
Right, exactly. So interesting selection. I would like to redo this if I could. So
we're gonna make our own list.
we need our own list on here. Could you take us to the Case 2 corner?
Absolutely, I can. We got a little bit of tea this week.
We are counting very quickly down to Spencer.
As if you're listening to this now, it'll be this week.
Holy
It will be out
shit.
in most or some theaters at least, which is very exciting.
It's coming to a house
She's
near
here.
you, weirdly.
It's coming. Princess Diana is coming into your home in its Case 2, and she's gonna give you a little kiss if you want it.
Oh my
Anyway.
god.
If you'd like. But since we're on the little road to the Spencer thing, she be talking, she's talking. She's just saying some stuff. One of which got people in kind of a tiff, is that she thinks she's made, quote, maybe 5 really good films in her career so far.
Yeah. That sounds like something she'd say.
Not an incorrect conceit, right? Especially since, she's taking a look at her career a bit more retrospectively and having a wider thing, and is now able to do things now that she hasn't been able to do in a bubble that she was in for a very long time. So I totally get it. But people are definitely like being, oh yes, you mean all 5
All
Twilight
the Twilight
movies?
films, right. Of course.
Those are the films. Like, if she said anything, she could have named any number other than 5, and she probably would have been fine to some extent.
5
but the
was a
fact that she
specific
explicitly
number.
said 5, that will just lead to the quote tweet nation of Twilight Army on Twitter. Which, you know what? Do your thing.
I like to imagine that she chose it just because that's the amount of fingers she has on one hand. But
Yeah, she's just like actually counting in her head and on her hand and being like, yeah, 5 seems right. Yeah.
Right. But now all of the stands are like, no, it's because of Twilight, actually. That's why.
Chase your bliss.
Right. Yeah. No, it's definitely not because she has made unbelievable films pre and post Twilight.
Right. Yeah.
But
The only ones are.
right.
It is interesting, though, to see this, like, kind of trajectory for Case 2, right? Because, like, at some point, I think there was a thing, right, where it was like, oh, Case 2 is more than just who she is in Twilight. Like, she's actually a better actress if you give her a good script and good direction or something, whatever. Like, that kind of rhetoric. And was, like, kind of talking about all these other films before and after.
Right.
And now it seems like we've come kind of full circle back around again to being Twilight is high art and very much like the best films ever made. And Case 2 was the best actress in those films. And now it just feels like we're in a loop that we can never get out of. Like, it just seems like it's a very fun, refreshing thing, but also very concerning to be like, oh, yes, even as a bit, just being like, nope, all the best ones.
Right. And
Twilight, because Twilight is cinema.
words of... I can't even say this without taking myself seriously. And in the words of Lin-Manuel Miranda himself, we are in the eye of the hurricane of this. And that's
Stop.
No, you stop.
How dare you bring his name into the sacred space? How dare you?
And that's okay, because that means that we will consistently be here. We'll just be here.
That's true. We're here.
As the discourse continues to flip and flop,
Yeah.
we'll just be here.
Yeah, we'll just be here on every side of the coin.
Yep.
And it will never stop.
Yep. That's the show, baby. The last piece of news that we have here is less news and more, oh good, we have more opportunities to make fun of Robert.
Right. It's Robert Roast Corner, baby.
Slash, we've got some fashion corner. Could you tell us, unfortunately, Jane, what has Robert gotten himself into? What is he doing? What is he doing?
You bold of you to assume I have the answer to that particular question.
That's fair.
But Robert Pattinson and Lily Collins were co-hosts of a Go campaign gala
Ooh.
this weekend. One of these people stunted out in their choice of outfit. One of them rolled out of bed, put on a suit, maybe just hanging on their door.
Maybe
and
took
just
their
walked
assistant
out.
suit. Who's to say?
Maybe took someone else's suit, someone who had a suit, and just walked on out there. It's what happened. What's going on here? Robert Pattinson can get any stylist he wants.
Yes.
He can just be styled, and not in a way that like he has to be super dressy all the time, but like in a way that gets his fucking vibe, and not just put him in like make him seem like he's going to a funeral everywhere he goes.
100%.
When he's always on red carpets, he's always being invited to things all the time. What? is
I
happening?
need a Sean Evans explain that, Graham, with this photo.
I need it.
Because he looks like, it's not even, I won't even give him the dignity of saying that he looks like someone going to their first like prom or their first like winter formal.
Yeah.
Because that would imply a little bit more like gussied. What it tells
Sure.
me is he looks like he looks like someone like knocked down his door and was like, "We're fucking late for church. Put your suit on. We gotta go." And he was like,
Yeah.
fine.
I guess I'll go to this
And
thing.
he got like dressed in the dark, didn't have time to shower or like go to the bathroom and like brush his teeth. It was just bedhead, we're going.
Yeah.
I mean, at least his like white shirt doesn't look like, it looks like it's been ironed or pressed.
Right.
But again,
So there's that.
so there's something going for him. But just the fact that his second button on his coat isn't buttoned is killing me.
It's fucked up. It's so fucked up.
It's so distracting. And then there's Lily, who looks like she's ready to host a gala.
Yeah. And then there's Rob. Rob is there. He did show up. And for that, you know, good for him.
Oh, Rob. I wish
Rob.
you gave any effort at some point. Ever. But God bless you. You don't have to, I guess. We have an email that was sent in to us by Kelly Beck.
Hell yeah.
Hello,
Thanks,
Kelly
Mom.
Beck. And it goes a little like this. Dear Allie and Cody, I did want to share a funny Twilight story. Recently, my 5-year-old has been upping his manipulation game to attempt staying up late. We stopped watching television on weeknights because media use got out of control during the pandemic. So now when I'm trying to put him to bed, he keeps suggesting shows we could stay up and watch. Mom, let's watch baseball. Mom, let's watch Toy Story. Well, last week, he got really quiet and said in a sing-song voice, sorry, Kelly, is your child haunted? Sorry, that sounds...
Is your child a haunted doll?
Is your child a ghost? Sorry, okay. So last week, he got really quiet and said in a sing-song voice, you know, Mom, we could watch a vampire show. Also, he has some speech issues, so he says pampire. Oh, instead of vampire.
That's so good.
Oh my God. I laughed so hard. He collapsed in giggles, and now he says it every night since he got such a reaction the first time. I haven't cracked yet, but we will probably watch Twilight on an upcoming Friday night. Get big.
Hell
Kelly
yeah.
Beck.
Love that.
A vampire show. Oh
Vampire
my God.
is so good.
That's
So good.
literally the cutest thing.
Yeah, that's the best thing I've ever heard.
It is. It's very cute. We have an update here from Michaela, who last week asked us about who our best friends would be in Vampire Academy. And they provided their answer of who their best friend would be. Would you like to share what they said?
Yes, absolutely. Update, since you got mad at me for not saying my own answer to my question, thank you for taking us seriously. The Raven being your high school bestie, but the way I would have loved having a Raven as a best friend. I mean, it's the best answer. Like,
it's very strong
fun.
protagonist energy.
Right, it's big main character energy.
Yep.
Just vibing with a Raven, going to school with a Raven.
If there was someone at my
Having
high
fun.
school who was friends with a Raven, like I saw them walking into school and they were like, bye, and the Raven just like flew off, I would absolutely not fuck with that person. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very strong energy, especially
Yeah.
if you're like coming into the school for the first time. You're like, yeah, I'm the person with a raven on my shoulder, just like chilling.
Can you imagine if your name was Raven and they'd be like, oh, that's a funny joke. And then you leave school for the first time and your Raven's just like there waiting to pick you up.
Right. Sorry, my ride's here.
They're just like waiting on your bike to like in a little basket waiting to go home.
Oh, stop.
They could fly, but they don't want to.
No. Who's got the time for that?
And you're just like Raven squared. That's cute, actually.
That is cute.
That's maybe the first time
new
I've
buddy
thought-
comedy coming to ABC this fall.
It's like the first time I've thought about birds without having like a shit my pants reactions. That's kind of cute.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Someone draw that.
Yeah.
That's pure. We have a couple chapters this week, and when we had left off, we were getting a little like CSI Miami going on.
Yeah, a little bit of a true crime situation.
Little road trip interrupted by oops, a murder.
Yeah.
Not done, obviously, by Dimitri and Rose, though that would be
Yeah.
a twist for sure.
Yeah.
But stumbling upon a murder, all because
Yeah.
they weren't nice and they didn't ice the sidewalks. And I think when we had last left off, Rose was like, "Deuces, I'm gonna go sleep." So where are we picking up now with chapter 3?
We're picking up with Rose having a little bit of still bad vibes, bad energy about all the things. Like, she's still trying to process everything and trying to be like, I'm so curious about what happened. Like, are they okay? Like, what's the sitch? What's going on? And also, everyone around her seems to be buzzing. And she's like, well, that's weird. Why is
Oh God,
all
they're
these
full
freshmen-
of bees.
They're all full of bees.
She slept
And they're
for
all
6
smiling.
hours and now everyone's full of bees.
Right. Shit happens like that in Vampire Academy. You know what I mean?
Fucking
It's like
nightmare.
Vladimir is. And then we get our boy Mason. He's back.
Oh,
He's up.
great.
He's ready. And they have their fun little banter, which is cute. And it's like, hey, the reason why we're all happy is that we're all going to fucking ski instead of going home to our families for the holiday break.
So this is genius, Rochelle.
Yeah.
I love this. I love this little switcheroo.
Yeah.
I will say that it does, and I hope, Rochelle, given the time that you wrote this book, being that it's 2007, I do hope
Right.
that you were influenced by High School Musical.
Ooh, yes.
Because Ski Lodge after Christmas,
Yeah.
potentially going
Iconic
into
vibes.
New Year's Eve,
Mm.
if there's going to be
Romance.
a little karaoke.
A little start of something.
Sounds like a
new,
little copyright infringement, but I don't hate it.
perhaps? You might see the law, but I do appreciate reading it. So,
But yeah, I don't hate this
Your secret
crossover.
safe with me, Rochelle.
Yeah. I do definitely want to see these vampires both ski, hilarious, and second of all, do karaoke, because that's fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, it's very funny. And I love, too, that, like, there's just... Mason frames it as way, like, you know how everyone's just, like, afraid to have their kids home for the holidays? Like, everyone...
Right. Yeah, of course.
It's like, normal human Christmas experience and a holiday experience. And then they're like, well, there's this very sick ski lodge in Idaho that literally is just used for royals and, like, very fancy Moroi. But for us, we get to just crash and ski and live it up.
What this makes me think of when Mason said this is that in this universe, there's got to be other types of different Moroi specific locations. Like, it made me think, like, is
Oh,
there
sure.
a
Yeah.
Great Wolf Lodge, but just for Moroi? Is there Six
A
Flags?
Moroi Six Flags?
Exactly.
Yes, look at us. Look at
Like,
us.
are there just secret amusement parks just tucked into these
I
forests?
want to go to Vampire Disney World.
That's what I'm saying.
Sue me.
Like,
Okay.
are there Moroi who are like, Daddy, I want to see
Yeah.
Goofy, but also I can't be around humans because I will kill all of them. And so they're like, God damn it. Okay, Violet, I'll just build you one. Fine.
Yeah, you will get your own theme park. My beautiful daughter, my beautiful dangerous vampire daughter.
Because if that's the case, then I want to go to Maroy Water Park because they do that shit
my
at
God.
night. And I do want to go on a lazy river with a whole bunch of vampires. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like the best day
That sounds like the best day ever.
in my life.
It would be my last day on Earth, but that's fine.
Yeah, but you know what? Worth it. What a way to go, you know?
Yeah. So it seems like
But
Mason
then-
is like super excited about this.
Mason is literally just shaking with excitement, and almost like so much so that Rose is kind of feeling it off of him and being like, yeah, maybe this will be super fun. I know I just witnessed many dead people.
But also massages.
But massages and like hot boys,
Lobster
and
dinners.
hot cocoa,
Cute ski
lobster,
instructors.
you know, like yeah.
It's the vibe.
So, you know,
Yeah, who cares if people are dead?
who cares?
Until, trauma creeps back up on her and she's like, oh shit.
Trauma always be creeping up.
You know
on
what?
Rose.
You're so
Like,
right.
I get it. It's consistent, you know? We love a consistent woman for sure. But also, can a bitch get a break for
Yeah.
once?
And goddamn Mason though, because he's like, Rose, we can't stop living because other people are dead. And she's like, try me. like,
Right. Actually, I'm so close to the edge, my man. Absolutely. And also Mason, too, is just like, wow, I wish we were out in the field. Like, we basically know everything we need to know. And Rose is like, no.
nope. Actually,
I can barely even hold a stake still at this point.
a literal one or a silver one. So
I can't hold my meat down very well. My red meat, can't do it.
I'm not
I have sensitive
prepared
stomach.
for the Outback or Outback Steakhouse. So
No.
I am not ready for anything.
Don't even try it. Mason.
Mason.
Yeah. When we get this little training montage, back to sexy training.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Can I ask? I would love to ask Dimitri where he got these quote lifelike dummies
Yeah.
because he's got a
'Cause
lot of
they're
them.
like, it looks like he has like a whole basement full of them. It's not like they're little, like regular dummies. They're like big, like they seem very rubbery and have hair and clothes, and they all feel like as realistic as you can get with that. And it's like, sir, how?
Dimitri,
where-
I've been rewatching Criminal Minds, and
Who's your supplier? Like what?
yeah, I have a couple of questions, Dimitri. Would you mind sitting down? Because this is the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Here.
Dimitri, this is raising a couple red flags.
Just a few.
Just a few. Why do you have so many lifeless looking women dolls?
And what do
people
you
dolls?
do with them?
And where do you put them, Dimitri?
Yeah.
Where do they live?
Because this is the first time that we've seen them in the training room. So where are they outside of this time?
Yeah, maybe he just, as a prank, just like sets them up in like chairs and stuff in school, and then scares people.
I
That'd
would
be
love
pretty
that,
fun.
actually.
That'd be pretty fun.
That'd be pretty great.
But he basically like sets up this dummy that looks exactly like one of the ones, the Strigoi that she found at the house, at the CSI
Super
house.
great, not traumatic.
Super great, and gives her a steak to hold in her hand.
She's very excited.
And then we get a lot of judgy anatomical questions here, because Homegirl cannot locate the heart.
Dimitri, as usual, is a condescending
being-
little shit.
He's being a little shithead, as per usual.
And there's a point where Rose was like, yeah, like, what are you gonna make me do? Like, you're not even gonna let me hold a steak. Like, you always make me like talk safety and responsibility before I can do anything. And he's like, yeah, bet. And then just goes and like sits down and makes her like actually like talk through all of these, which
Yeah, it's
Valid.
like you gotta look at it and understand it. You gotta be the steak, you know? You gotta know the steak, you know? Before you can even hold it or use it effectively.
Which, hey, Dimitri, I don't disagree. I think more than ever, we need to have very thorough, very careful weapons training.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't disagree with that. Where I disagree is how you teach, which is far more condescending, and that does not absorb in brains.
No, especially if her brain is already riddled with things that in the last 24 hours that she's
Yeah.
witnessed and can't stop thinking about. You know, it's cloudy up there. Okay.
Especially because he's like, where are you going to put this? And she's like, obviously, Dimitri, like, you sticks the stake in her heart.
Yeah, I know that much, Dimitri. Okay, I'm not a fool.
The best part, though, and I don't blame her for this, is he's like, okay, bet, where's the heart?
Right. It's like, is it somewhere around here?
And Rose, bless her brain.
Bless her heart and her brain.
And
Absolutely.
bless her heart and her brain is like, yeah, it's right here. You know, where everyone puts their hand when you say the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, here's my question. At St. Vlad's, do they say the Pledge of Allegiance?
There's
Why
no
does she-
way, right?
Why does she know what the Pledge of Allegiance is? Why?
It's a great question. Maybe those 2 years.
Maybe those 2
She
years?
got really into.
But did they go to high
how
school?
America does things. No, they did not. But I don't know.
Or the national anthem. Why does she know those?
Right.
Like, cultural osmosis, I guess. But, like,
Sure.
how does she know those?
Right. Yeah, maybe that's why Dimitri was like, no, that's not where it is. He's like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're referencing right now. I'm confused.
Yeah, because like a lot of I don't mistake her for that. Oddly, a lot of people still think that's where your heart is.
Right. Yeah.
Because our unfortunately our media does a very bad.
Not good.
No, the education system does a very bad job of saying where our like metaphorical heart is and where our anatomical heart is.
Right.
But Dimitri's like, no, dumbass.
You fucking sicko.
Didn't you take your anatomy classes, or were you gone for those? And it's like, Dimitri,
Sir,
she
who's that
was
helping?
busy saving the world. You are very aware of this. Don't be so fucking rude.
I do love though that her second option was just the sternum, just like the middle of the chest.
Yeah, where
It's
the
like, no,
bone-
it has to be here,
where the bone
Where
beat.
the bone is, where the bone beat. Yeah, that's if it's not in the Pledge of Allegiance spot, it should be there.
Yeah, where the hardest part, where it hurts, right there.
You know where I feel my heartbeat in the middle of my chest? Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Dimitri, you are very intelligent. You're very strong. You're very gifted. You're so smart.
Yes.
But also, you need a little bit more work on how you communicate knowledge to other people. Especially when he's like, you come back here next time when you know where the heart is. And I'm going to walk off like Rachel Berry right now. So,
Having a powerful exit.
exactly.
Okay, sir.
As if Rose needed anything else to be more frustrated about right now.
And there's so much more to be frustrated about. Coming to her.
I agree.
She walks to class with Mason. They do their own little flirty thing, even though Rose is definitely not interested in him.
No.
But they're having fun.
No, she just needed someone to talk to because for some reason Lissa's like gone. I think it's just because she's in all like guardian classes right now or something.
Yeah, she's booked and busy. She's getting an education.
Liz
And also that was before the training was before classes.
Yeah,
start,
so I
right?
guess
She
it's
has,
like the beginning of the
ones.
day.
So, and Mason's the only one that fucking hangs around, I guess.
Yeah, he's just waiting around
During
for
those
her all the
hours.
time.
Yeah, and they walk into their class, and who's there? It's Rose's mom. Ba ba ba.
Yes. Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of people in town.
Yeah.
There's like a couple other guardians that are in this class, and one of them is a woman. And Rose was like, "Oh yeah, dope! I'm excited to like see another woman guardian. This is great." And then she just takes another glance. She's like, "Fuck, it's my mom."
Like, oh no.
Shit.
Come on.
Which honestly, I don't blame her. What I do blame her
Yeah.
for is her name, Janine.
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 She is advertised and written as like the most badass woman. Like if you thought Rose was badass, Janine fucking goes so much harder. Like she's like 5'0", but it's like the strongest and coolest person anyone's ever seen.
Yeah.
And she's so sick. And her name is Janine.
Yeah. That's a great point, Jan.
Feels like a disservice.
Hello?
Right.
This
So,
badass
come on.
woman who is essentially like the woman version of Emmett in this world. Like, and that's a huge thing given the fact that there are very few women guardians. Her name's
Right.
Jan. Hello?
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
You couldn't have changed your name?
Even Jane.
Even
would be
Jane.
cooler.
Jan? Okay. That's fine. I'm mad about it, but
Ma'am?
that's fine.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Anyway, she's here, and all those other like high level guardians are here because of they're all going up for the holidays and stuff. The big dogs also got to get their protection, and
She's in a
Miss
big dog
Jan.
shirt.
she's in a big.
That's a requirement for guardians. I don't think that Rochelle adequately mentioned that, but they do all have to wear big dog apparel.
Yeah, it's very important for you to know visually that they are wearing big dog.
That's how you
shirts.
differentiate the guardians from the Moroi, is that they are all wearing big dog apparel.
I also do realize that we probably have a sizable amount of our audience that is too young to know what big dog shirts are. So
What the
that
fuck?
makes me feel yeah.
That was like...
I
Okay, no, I'm legitimately mad now. Because, one, that's incredibly important to culture. But second
Yeah.
of all, when this came out, like 2005, 2007, that was like still when I knew people, like I knew dads who wore big dog apparel.
Oh yeah,
That
It
was, like,
a
still a
cultural
thing.
moment. Yeah,
I just got legitimately angry.
yeah. So anyway, we're 8,000 years old, and so are some of these guardians.
Yeah.
We're just-
No, unfortunately, she's not wearing big dog apparel. Rose spends a lot of time ripping Janine's outfit apart.
yeah, it's pretty brutal.
It's aggressively mean.
It's like there's a lot of things to be mad about,
Right.
in terms of your absent mother. Like, for sure, have those things. But she spent so much time shitting on her outfit, how small she is.
Yeah. Stuff
And,
that
like, what
she
she
really
looks
can't
like.
control.
It's just like very pointed in ways that's like you can focus your energy on more bigger things in terms of your relationship with your own mother, but like go off.
Yeah,
process
she's
it
like,
how you want to process
fuck my
it.
mom and her beige t-shirt and this boring denim jacket and like how
It's like
famous
the
she
most
is.
boring denim jacket she's ever seen.
Oh, this denim jacket she's wearing doesn't even have like puff paint decorations on it. Fuck my mom. She doesn't
Fuck my
understand me. She's just 5 feet tall and nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
It's like, all right, Rose, cool.
Cool, Rose.
Cool way to react to your mom.
How you
coming.
doing, Rose?
Yeah,
You
hey,
chill?
Rose, you good? Just want to check in, Rose. Rosemary Hathaway.
God, Rosemary and Janine. God,
Yeah.
y'all are the worst.
So all of these people are there in their class to like kind of tell them their cool stories, I guess. Of working
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like a
field.
fucking show and tell day for these guardians.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. They're a lot of them aren't like super. They're fine.
They're
Just like,
boring.
yeah, I killed some people. There's just like whatever. It's like, okay, it's basically a lecture, but with cool new people. But Janine's goes hard as fuck. Janine, because she also like the way that she talks to is so she's like a robot, which is very funny. And she's very monotonous and just like says things as fact rather than having any emotion behind them, which Rose notes. And it's just like, she's like, yeah, I did. Because like allegedly she did like the greatest quote unquote hat trick of killing like 3 Strigoi in 3 different ways, which was badass. And then also like saving multiple people that were being trapped by them and like identifying these things and like working as a team and also just like kicking ass. But she says everything so matter-of-factly, being like, yeah, and then I decapitated someone and then I pushed someone into the fire and then someone ran away and I just like chopped their head off with an axe. Oh, and I put a stake in one of them and like, yeah, it was just like a Tuesday. And it's like, what, Janine? Hi, Janine?
Hello?
What? Sorry.
And like
Appreciate
naturally
your accomplishments a little bit more.
everyone in the
That's
class has like their jaws on the table. Like they're just
Yeah.
losing their mind.
They're dropped.
Yeah. But when I was reading the way that Janine speaks, because her cadence is different than anyone that we've seen so far, what caught my eye was that her cadence is so matter of fact that I couldn't tell if Rochelle wants us to see that as connected to her absent personality, that like she's so detached from everything as a way of
Right.
like separating herself from how brutal her job is, or
Right.
if it's like a neurodivergent thing, because it was like it was just so detail, like fact based, but there was no emotion. Like,
no,
it was just retelling the story.
Right.
And I'm assuming it's the former, but it also gave off a little just like, this is what happened, then this, then this. And not realizing that you are here to present in front of folks and like tell your
put on
story.
A little show.
Right.
Right.
So that was interesting to me.
Yeah. It's funny too, because like that's definitely, something that is indicative of their conversation when the class is over.
Oh, yeah.
And because Rose is like sitting on the bench pouting, in a corner. And then Janine comes up and be like, hey, where'd your fucking manners go? Like, nice, thank you for the introduction, whatever. And like the whole thing is just like, hey, very mommy issues present here, obviously.
Yeah.
But like the detachment she has from her family and her work and that fuel each other in that way is very interesting, in the way that she's just like, yeah, of course, like, I didn't see you because I was on duty. I had a job to do.
Right.
I'm like, whatever. That's my job. It's like, I'm not going to apologize for it because I had my thing. I was serving a higher purpose, which is the thing we all been doing. And it's just like, okay, so this just checks everything that you are about in your relationship with your children, your child.
Your literal child. Yeah. The conversation between them in the classroom I found very interesting, because naturally, like, all of the peers around them start asking questions and they're all like, wow, like, this is the coolest thing I've ever heard.
They're eating it up. Yeah.
And, fuck that. What I didn't, because there was a point when Rose had first walked in that she assumed Janine had seen her and then chose to ignore her. But when Rose had finally raised her hand, it was interesting that Janine was like, oh, you're here. Like, she didn't even know.
Oh, right. I had no clue. Yeah.
No clue that her kid was in here. And so I was like, dude, I thought, and that's what surprised me too, because it's like, if your job is to be a guardian and to like scope out spaces, that
you would be acutely aware of everyone in that room. Right.
Like, your literal flesh and blood is in this room. What do you mean that you're like, oh, weird, you're here?
Yeah. Oh, my kid is here. Cool.
Weird.
Got it.
And so the conversation between them is fucking hilarious, because Rose is the way that she's asking these questions is, quote, the problem. But the questions that she's asking are valid. They're things that Dimitri has prepared her for.
Right. And especially someone that is going to do this, like, would have all those questions in their head going into it. It's like, oh, why wasn't the place secure? Or it seems like you kind of messed up from the jump.
Yeah, it seems like you kind of fucked up.
It seems like you kind of bungled it. And we're learning and we're students. And maybe we should think about how this could have not even happened that way, even though it was sick and badass.
Right.
Mom.
And the teacher's in the room, obviously, and we know Dimitri's in the room, but he's like supposed to be in the back or whatever. And eventually, like, this starts to get, Janine's like is barely like holding on to her cool. Rose is absolutely not holding on to her cool. And it gets to the point where the teacher's like, all right, you gotta go. Like, Rose, you gotta get out of here because you're harshing our rhyme.
Yeah. Sorry, we're trying to learn here from this very beautiful, lovely, talented woman.
Right.
Get the fuck out.
And your heart, you can't be here. And so I was fully expecting there to not be another conversation. But when Janine came back out during this, it was shocking. The way that Janine doubled down and was like, you should not have left this school. You fucked up. Right. And I cannot
you made the wrong choice.
Yeah.
And you're a fool.
And there was that part too where, like, and these are all Rose's weak spots, right? Of like knowing that knowing the like mistraining and the humiliating, especially from her mom. But there was that point too where she said at the end, I think before she even left, where it was like, if you hadn't left this place, you wouldn't just be caught up with these people, but you would have surpassed them. And then she just walks away. Oh my God.
Like, come on. Come on.
Just an absolute, like, not a, hey, it's been a while, heard you died a couple times. How's Lissa?
Hey, I haven't seen you in 5 years. But it seems like you're here. That's cool.
Yeah.
What's up? And a simple hi, a simple, like, are you good?
Right. If I read these
like, you
reports,
fool.
then, like, I know that you have suffered, like, massive physical and emotional damage. How are you? No, just to, like, you disappoint
This is your
me.
fault, and you fucked it up.
Right.
And you could have been the best there ever was right now, but you didn't.
Dude. Like,
Come on. Like, the one thing that she's always self-conscious about.
Right.
The most self-conscious about.
And it's
is,
like-
being behind because of that sacrifice she had to make with Lissa. And it's like,
Yeah.
y'all, can we have a little bit more
yeah.
contextualization, a little more empathy for the people?
And the answer is no. Rose gets none.
No. That's not. Nope.
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 Nope. No. No. Like, and none for you, Rose. Bye. And it makes me sad because it's not healthy for her development. But also, you know, like, knowing that Rochelle has absolutely no bounds when it comes to writing, I'm like, dude, what happens if she, like, fucking hits her limit? Like, where is this going, I guess?
Like, it seems like we're getting pretty close.
And we are, like, 60 pages in. So where are we going here?
Yeah.
It is presumably, like, second period at this point.
Sure.
Like, it's still the
Sure.
beginning of Rose's day.
Yeah.
And she does have to go back and see Dimitri at the end of the day.
And she just goes back to heart talk. It's like, it's right here, asshole.
Yeah.
All right.
No
Okay,
preamble.
The sternum's there. The ribs are there. Fuck. Okay. I got it. I figured it out. And
Solved
then,
your
of
riddle.
course, he's like, well, thank you. Good. Great job. How do you get the steak in between the sternum and the ribs and actually hit the heart? And she's like, motherfucker, come on. Can I just... Come on.
You can't just keep asking me questions forever.
Yeah.
And he's
I'm
like,
getting a little tired of this back and forth.
which is a valid question because the sternum and the ribs are hard. Like, you can't just
right.
you know, silver.
Pretty hard space to get
Silver
a
strong.
silver thing in there.
Now, there is, unfortunately, during this training, quite a bit of goosh talk, I would say.
Goosh.
Because the fact that Dimitri's like, well, you're going to be shorter than most of these people. So when you attack them, it'll be easier for you to actually, like, hit their heart and, you know, avoid these things. And it was just a visual image that I didn't want to think about.
It's like, hey, Dimitri, keep it in your pants, bud. All right?
Yeah. Like, I don't actually want to think about anatomically how you would stake a heart with a stake.
Sir.
So, thank you. One of the things I did genuinely appreciate about Rose, because she is true to her brand through and through, is at the end of this training, she's like, hey, so I noticed that...
Next time.
I noticed that one of these dummies looks a lot like my mom. Could I...
What if?
when I see you next, can I stake that one? Actually. Can I do that? Is that allowed?
Thank you. Is that cool? And he's like, I don't know if that's actually healthy. In a rare moment of like armchair diagnosis situation here, of being like, you know what? Actually,
This
think that might not
motherfucker
be-
has the audacity to say violence isn't the answer to your problems.
like,
Sir,
hello.
what is
Sorry.
your literal job?
Your job is teaching violence.
Yeah, so
Dude.
who are you, actually?
To Rose specifically.
Yeah.
Not, Rose is not gonna maybe kill her mom. So it's like, let her have her little wish.
Let her have her little punching bag.
Let her, whatever. Like, it's not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
Just your weird little dolls, and that's fine.
Yeah, maybe he's just really protective of his doll and not...
Yeah. He's like, hey, don't hurt her. Hold on. Whoa.
Please don't.
That's my favorite.
Those cost me a lot of money. Please don't.
Yeah.
I got them from a specialist. Please don't.
Yeah. And then we get this talk of, like, Dimitri being like, well, you're not that unlike your mom. And Rose fucking flips.
Yeah, it just goes
like-
off her handle because you don't just say
first
that to
of all,
someone.
Our hair is different. And she's shorter than me. So, fuck you. How
Literally
dare
me to
you?
my therapist every week.
Right.
We are nothing alike.
Actually. How could you even say that?
She's shorter than me, and we have different hair, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, so I don't know what fucking Kool-Aid you've been drinking, but it's because
I drank Tang, so fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, the way this chapter ends is a little weird, I'll say.
Yeah.
Demetria just saying really cryptic things and then just walking away.
Yeah, because like, oh man, maybe the sexy marks we all have for killing people aren't always fun, you know?
And then he just literally vanishes into thin
Anyway,
air.
nothing else to say there. I'm going to fly away into the sun.
Yeah, and we find out weirdly he's been a vampire this whole time.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that was allowed, but
Right. It's allowed.
yeah, apparently it is. So apparently we're going to hear more of Dimitri's tragic backstory next week when we get to chapters 5 and 6.
Hey.
You know, which I've been yearning for. I need more of his backstory. So
Yes, please.
why does this
Sir.
man love cowboy dusters? Why does this man love 80s music? Who is he? You know?
He's so complex. I want to know.
What kind of enigma is this man made of?
Yeah.
Why are all of his interests drawn like they're from a magic 8-ball? It confuses me.
Stop. Yeah. They just rolled the dice a couple times. They're like, all right, we got Cowboy Duster.
Great.
We got Russian. Important. We got 80s music. That's a character.
We got
That's,
Grecian
and very
friends.
big and strong.
Grecian
friends. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
And that's it. That's a man. That's
drives
a full man.
Honda Pilot. Great. Perfect.
Yep. Yeah. Can't forget the Honda Pilot.
Likes pancakes over waffles. Weird choice, but okay. Great.
Yep. Sure.
Wrong, but
Just
okay.
rounding it out, you know.
We have some fantastic patrons to thank. Would you like to start us out?
Hell yeah. Shout out to Katie Black.
Ooh. Thank you to Kylie Minty.
Thank you to Alex Dornan.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you to Carrie Goldberg.
Shout out Mickey Meyer.
Thank you to Rebecca Cullen.
Thank you to Mulch. Great. Mulch.
Thank you to our unofficial intern, Taylor Brown Town Lautner. Whoa.
Yes. Thank you to Danae Swan.
Ooh. Thank you to Jasmine Anastasia.
Ooh,
Ooh.
yeah. Thank you to Cassandra Bomer.
Ooh. Thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Shout out Cassandra O'Shea.
Oh, Shay.
Ooh. O'Shea.
Oh, Shay. Thank you to Rachel Seeker.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you to Ashley Dragomir.
Oh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Thank you to Alexandra Ozera.
Thank you to Aaron Weber.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Thank you to Clara Belikov.
Thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Thank you to my mom,
Oh.
your mom, all of our collective mom,
Ooh.
Kelly Beck.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Shout out India Peach.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you to Laura Forty.
Pew, 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 pew. And last but not least, thank you to Abby Penn.
So I have a fan fiction here.
Fuck yeah.
It was sent in by Taylor Brown Townlautner.
Hell yeah.
This is from a crossover section that I feel like you might be more familiar with than I am.
I did hear rumors of this. I did see
This is
cursed objects
this is from
coming to our notifications.
I feel like that might be next week, but this is from the Twilight and iCarly crossover.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Now, I feel like I might be approximately 14 months too old for the iCarly train.
Okay, sure.
I obviously know what it is, but I did not grow up with it.
Yeah.
So this is titled Visiting Forks, and it was written by The Lion and the Lamb Forever. And it was published on May 18th, 2011. This says, Edward runs into a young blonde person while hunting. Is it Sam? So I have no idea whose POV this is. I'm just gonna start reading. I think it's from Edward's.
Love that.
Sam, if I'm not mistaken, Sam is the blonde girl. Yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Great. All right.
Miss Jeanette McCurdy. Yes.
Great. All right. I was walking in the forest one day when I came across someone crying. I walked to the door of the door of the fort. Okay. I walked to the door and a dirty blonde haired girl about 16 was sitting and sobbing. Are you okay? I said. Oh, I'm fine, she said. What's wrong? I continued. Do you really want to know? By the way, I'm Sam, she said. Sure, Sam, I'm Edward, I said. Well, she started as I read her mind and didn't listen. It was pictures and talking. It was a brown-haired boy, in parentheses, Freddie, kissing a black-haired girl, in parentheses, Carly. Freddie, Sam yelled. Sam, it's not what it looks like, Freddie said. Sure, it isn't. Sam yelled again as she walked over and slapped him. Sam, Freddie yelled. Also, she grabbed a bottle of bacon. End scene.
Wow.
So I have a
The
couple.
clam we never knew we needed.
So I have just a couple of questions for this author. Specifically, where is the door to the forest and how do I get in? Because I've been wanting to get into the door to the forest for all of my life.
Forever. Yeah, seriously.
And also
Just log off, touch some grass.
I've been trying to find the door in the forest for my entire life. Also, what the actual fuck is a bottle of bacon? I know this was published in 2011, but if you could please respond, that would be great.
Yeah, dark times for culture that year,
Yeah, I'm so glad that bacon does not have the stronghold that it does now, but I will say the fact that y'all are okay with it being mushrooms now is a little, interesting.
Oh, okay.
Hot
take as we end this.
I appreciate it being mushrooms more than bacon, but
yeah,
it's the same. It's the same.
Yeah, people definitely are making mushrooms their personality, though. I do understand in the same way.
Yeah,
I get that.
I'm glad it's not bacon anymore, but also,
hey,
mushrooms to bacon. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, folks, happy Spencer Week.
Yes.
Get your tissues ready for a sad holiday season. And as we say in the Pacific Northwest,
get bit.
And get whips.
And don't eat mushrooms, apparently.
Yeah, I don't.
If you're listening to Allie.
Yeah, you don't eat them straight from the forest, is what I'll say.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Don't die. So, that's what I'll say.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.